Oh, so you know what sucks? So that I just did like 3 recordings and none of them got recorded. Yeah, you gotta get used to that. Okay, so first off, with this newest patch, obviously we have 3 new characters and more uniforms, as usual when it comes to a Marvel Future Fight update. How long can they keep updating this game? We do not know. So, one thing they added is that they gave us a little option over here to just check details of like whatever that. So, we have March update details. And I can just read here. An all-new XForce member to join our lineup, Warpath, the Weapons Master joins the fray. We also have Sabretooth and Juggernaut, 2 formidable opponents that can overwhelm you with their claws and massive power. Added 3 new characters. I would have put added 3 new characters. And of course, the XForce lineup would not be complete without our enhancements made to the following characters: Deadpool, Wolverine, and Nightcrawler. Enhanced them through their new uniforms. We've added 3 new uniforms. Again, I will put that at the beginning of this. 4 more characters can now realize their inner potential, along with Wolverine's Tier 3 upgrade. Enter the all-new Shadowlands and test out the expansion and the improvements made to Shadowland. Oh god. They also added an X-Force themed uniform collection and a comic card. Other improvements, enhancements, and other game fixes will also add. So, I wonder if I can look up to see if I can see the changes. Nope, we don't want to see that video yet. So, they changed Shadowlands. No more reasons to love Shadowland. Why would you love a place that's full of crime? Added more than 31 floors and the interface has been improved. Enjoy all these Shadowlands with different things than usual. Once you're able to clear stage 30 of Shadowlands, you can now challenge infinite floors along with contesting the current King of the Hill. I still hate this place though. Characters that have reached 6-star and Tier 2 are the only characters that can participate from the floor mode. The higher the floor, the harder the stages will be. You can refresh the stage you encounter upon reaching floor 31 and above in exchange for gold. The bosses you face on floor 31 and up will have additional stats that depends on the randomly selected fight floors from floor 30. In addition, you can earn shadow points upon clearing. I wanted to see if there was any other like okay. Okay, this is what I was looking for. An issue with Nick Fury Modern and Nick Fury Marvel's Captain Marvel, whereupon activation of their shield airstrike skill, the bombardment effect disappears unexpectedly, has been fixed. Yeah, that actually made any issues. Deadpool Modern's character tips have been changed. The issue with Captain Marvel's uniform, where if she is used in autoplay, there are certain scenarios where she can use her ultimate skill continuously. Oh, there was a glitch on that? We really could have had something awesome there. I could have had something awesome there if I actually got off my butt and did that. An issue where Captain Marvel's uniform, where upon using her in autoplay enabled the character stops moving, has been fixed. I think I experienced that once. Corrected the visual glitch at Captain Marvel, all uniforms, where the color of Earth and meteors of her ultimate skill is shown correctly. Anyway, I was hoping I would actually see some other patch changes, but whatever. So with obviously new update. We have the bonus mission, which is basically these characters and get them up to level whatever, get them up to whatever, get them up to 3 and 6 star mastery. And we obviously have the event quest here, which is basically complete all these quests, and you can get, well, mainly you can get the release tokens, and we can go to this shop here and we can buy more. We can buy XG, which is all I want. Now he's available. Now I have acquired him. They always do. They generally always do this like before they release a new set of characters, and then after they release a new set of characters. So, yeah. Hey. So, then we also now to the main portion of this video. We are looking at our 3 new characters: Sabretooth, Juggernaut, the Juggernaut, Sabretooth, and Warpath. And then we're gonna look at the 3 new, well, the new uniforms, and the new tier 3. So, first off in this video, Juggernaut. He is the Juggernaut, boy. I can't say the other way because I'll be kicked out. The Juggernaut towering over you. Like, would you be scared of this man? I would. I don't care who you are. You need some random Dragon Ball Z character. I'll be scared of this man. Okay. Bad thing is I already tried to do this video and record, so my initial hype isn't there. I'm trying to recreate it. So, at max rank, max level, and max mastery, for a combat character and also a premium character, his stats don't really stand out that much. I mean, there's reason, but they don't stand out. His physical attack is hitting 5600 is like, we're gonna round all these numbers, so we're gonna round all these numbers up or down depending on where they are. Well, that's how I do it. His physical attack sits at 5600. His physical defense sits at 3700. His energy defense sits at 3300. His HP sits at 17,000. That's kind of a mess in terms of stats. But then tier 2. His stats hit 6600 physical attack, 5100 physical defense, 4200 energy defense, 22,000 HP. Well, I remember how I was hyped about Sentinel being a tank. This is your tank in terms of stats. But now let's add potential. Add maximum potential. 7,500 physical attack. Well, 7,400 physical attack. 6,000 physical defense. 4,900 energy defense. 25,000 HP. This is before you apply the team buffs, the ISO 8 buffs, the Enchanted Guru buffs, comic cards, all of that. This is before you apply all of that. Now, just a bit of nostalgia. Well, not really nostalgia. Like, he's going against this guy. Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter. I believe he was in X-Men versus Street Fighter. Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This guy was just scary. You did not, like, this guy was scary every time you see him in a match. Every time you saw Juggernaut in a match, he was scary because you knew if this guy touches you, you're gonna be hurting, if not dead. Now, like, Marvel superheroes, with the correct gem, he gains additional super armor, and then he gains additional super armor, and then he gains, like, he can also be randomly takes no damage from certain attacks. Like, he'll just randomly not take any damage. Like what was that? Like, oh, hold on. Not to mention, one of his moves was he picks up an I-beam and it increases his already huge range. His neutral game just became scarier because of that. Like all you have to do is just pick up an I-beam, like, oh, now you thought you were safe over there. Hold up. What? That was Marvel superhero. Wasn't it X-Men Juggernaut? I don't think he was. I don't remember who he was. No, it was Central. I believe he was in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Okay, he lost that I-beam thing, but he was still scary. I hope I'm remembering this correctly, because I believe he was in that. I believe he was. He could power up, and then he only needed one suit. And he only had one suit. And it was the most effective thing that you could think of. Just charge at you. There's nothing, like, unless you were super jumping, or unless you were far away, and you saw it coming, you get hit, like, dude, you get hit by Juggernaut, you're done. You're just about done. Marvel vs. Capcom. One of the he was pretty much up there in one of the top tier assists because he was an assist character in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. In MVC 1, he was just an assist character. Which basically that kind of made you go like, oh, thank God. But at the same time, he was one of the really good assists. I mean, he's not as good as Colossus or Psylocke, or he wasn't as good as Colossus or Psylocke. But basically, and the reason was that, like, you could actually knock away Juggernaut when you called him as an assist. Like, you just be like, no, get out. But his assist was still dangerous because it just charges at you, and that it was a huge combo extender or combo starter, depending on who used it. The only thing that made him rather a weak assist was that you could only call him like 3 times. You could only call him like Juggernaut like 3 times, while you could call Colossus or Psylocke like 5 times. Anyway, fast forward to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Scared, like, if this guy was in the match, scariest thing ever. Scariest thing ever to go, like, well, not the scariest thing ever, because you had Magneto. Like, you had Magneto, you had Storm, you had Psylocke, you had the 4 gods of Marvel. Juggernaut was up there. See, that was the thing about Marvel 2. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is that every character in that game had a reason as to why you should fear him. Every character in that game had a reason as to why you should fear him. Except Wolverine. Let's give it. Hey, every character there had a reason to fear. Juggernaut's a reason. So he has a glitch in him. Power up glitch. So his move is called Power Up, and it does exactly what it says. Powers him up. So normally when he does it, he starts flashing red, and it basically makes his next attack like ungodly strong. Like that's all it does. So here's what you could do. Instead of just going power up and then just smacking your opponent, how about power up, tag out? You power him up, tag out, you now have one of the best assist characters in the game. And it didn't take that long, it was cheap. So now with his assist, he has one hit. He's got one hit that does a huge amount of damage. And I believe it's unscaled too. So now that you have Juggernaut powered up and he's tagged out, your opponent calls an assist and it's Juggernaut and it comes out fast. Like it just comes out fast. It's like Juggernaut punch! Yeah, oh god! You are hurting. It was one of the most annoying assists to deal with. Next to a couple of other characters. And the power up buff is still applied, I believe, even when he comes back in. So he could just come back in and go do a super Headcrush. You're done. Dude, Headcrush, you are done, sir. That's like I hope you weren't playing Akuma. I hope you weren't playing Akuma or who else had crap HP? Like, really, almost any character in that game was like, they were done when it came to Juggernaut Super. It's just that good. But yeah, that's pretty much my memories of Juggernaut. Scary character, you did not want to be in range of it. Because you knew if he was in range, that you were gonna get hurt. Okay, like I'm from faster than this guy. Because he also had super armor. So you had to find a way to bust through his super armor. Anyway, let's actually look at this character's skills. I've been ranting. I've been on nostalgia trip for a bit too long for this already. Leader skill. Applies to all allies. 50% increase to all defenses. Well, to all defenses. Oh boy, I'm already liking that already. Normal passive. Applies to himself, decreases all damage received by 25%. Super armor. And all defense increased by 5%. So 50, 55, and a damage decrease. And super armor. Dude. Tier 2 passive. When HP is good. Oh, I still have it. Dude, like, why? You just go, why? Like, why would you do this to us? Like, why would you do this to us, people? Right? And this is what you're going up against. When HP is below 99%, applies to himself. 3.5% recovery of max HP for every second, and applies the following effect for 1 second. Cooldown time of 5 seconds. When his HP is below 50%, he gets a 12% all attack buff, a 2.5 all speed buff, a critical rate increase of 12%, removes incapacitation, flip cooldown down 5 seconds, and then 100% chance to become immune to mind for 5 seconds. Anti-Scarlet Witch Leo. And this is just bringing me back to, I can't think of the X-Men series. It was like, I believe, it was like the 2000 series of X-Men. It was like the 2000 series of X-Men where like everyone was generally teenagers for the most part, except for obviously Wolverine. Everybody was like high school or whatever. And one of the first big missions that they had was they all got to go up against Juggernaut. Juggernaut took down just about everybody. He took everybody down. And it was just left to like Jean and Cyclops. They managed to get his helmet off, which basically makes him susceptible to mind attacks, I believe. And then, but it still wasn't working. Like Jean still couldn't get to him. So Cyclops is Cyclops steps in. And he's been holding back, because Cyclops is one of the most powerful mutants in existence. Like, Cyclops steps in and is just like, okay, that's it. Like, you want to see power? Hold up. Hold my glasses. And he just totally blasted Juggernaut. And that barely did him in. Like, that barely did the guy in. Like, it took Cyclops everything to put down Juggernaut. That's how bad it was. Okay. That was probably one of my favorite episodes. Even though I didn't really like that series, that was one of my favorites. So, looking at his skills, flying headbutt. Stun for 2 seconds. Fracture for 3 seconds. I'm not gonna read like the physical damage bit, like how much physical damage it can possibly do. I feel as once you hit with something, like once you hit, you're good. It's just a matter of how many hits it takes at that point. Like how hard do I have to hit you? Earthquake Slam. 100% chance to become immune to all damage. So immunity to all damage for 5 seconds. 100% true damage. This is a true damage skill. The total true damage accumulated cannot exceed 10% of his HP. I didn't say max HP, so whatever his current HP. Increases his attack by 5% for each 1% damage taken for 10 seconds. So yeah. Unstoppable charge, applying fracture and stun for 3 seconds, and then guards against 3 hits. Shattered ground decreases 25% decrease to all attacks, and then fracture for 3 seconds. Stampede, paralyzed for 4 seconds. 5% decrease to all defenses. Stacks up to 25% for 7 seconds. Stun for 2 seconds. So, honestly, just at first look, I would say this is the male physical combat version of Sharon Rogers. That's just giving it a look. But also, I haven't looked at his bio. I'm sorry. Kane Marco, who stands at 9 feet 6 inches. I would be scared of this man. Weighs 1,900 pounds. obviously a super villain, obviously a mutant if you don't know the X-Men. He's one of the classic X-Men. That's why I know. He's one of the main X-Men that I didn't see a lot. His ability, 3% strong, gives him 3% increase in attack. Durability gives him 5% increase in all defenses. So yeah, that's like a super villain. So, team ups. Teams up with Black Dwarf in the Thing. Teams up with Sin in the Thing. Teams up with two characters I don't really use. I can't remember their names either. Can't remember. Titania and Absorber. Teams up with Luke Cage and I can't remember his name. Ghost. Teams up with Luke Cage and Ghost. Teams up with Emma Frost because they're natural enemies. Because she is a telepath. Teams up with the Rhino because they're pretty much both the same thing, just different stories. But I think Juggernaut will win against the Rhino. Just saying. Teams up with Colossus. Teams up with Vision. Teams up with the Hulk. Teams up with Sabretooth. Not really much. Not really much to say as to which one would be his best team up. Because all of them don't exactly share buffs. You know, there's not really. But I would probably put him with the Black Dwarf thing. I feel like that would work. So how do you get this guy? He's a premium character. Honestly, out of all the premium characters that you could have, just given his kit, this kit here, this is actually worth it. So let's start previewing skills. Let's see. So, far away, boom! It's like far away, he just charges in. And did you see his intro? He just charges in, like, Juggernaut Punch, or Headcrush! Now, Headcrush is like 5-6 hits. So this is like, Juggernaut Punch! And then you go, up close, I would definitely use this and then go into a skill if possible. Like if I was given that amount of control, I'd be like, maybe you can use that amount of control. I would do that and then go BAH! I go straight into the skill. Skill 1. Spinning lariat and then the spinning lariat to the finish. I'm just flailing my arms around. What happened? Like if you get hurt, it's not my fault. I don't remember what the line was. Or something like that. Skill 2. Okay, that is like this here is like you've been smacking Juggernaut a lot in like some sort of boss fight, and he just goes into this stand. And it's like, oh crap, I gotta run away. And you're like, oh, I gotta run away. And it was like too late. Boom. Skill 3. He just runs. Like, he just runs straight at you. It's just like, ah! I mean, he just runs straight at you. There's no, like, don't get, it's like being in the way of a train. Usually the train wins. And this train doesn't derail. Skill 4. Uppercuts, and then because he lands on the ground, it just makes him huge. There you go. And then skill 5. More earthquakes, but it ends by picking up a piece of the street and smacking you with it. So you can just go from here, go straight to that. Dude, this is not a tank you want to go up against. Most projectile characters will actually have issues trying to deal with this. Doctor Strange is definitely a go-to for this guy, or anybody that can like apply paralyze or something. Something that can just stop him for a couple of seconds. And you pray that because of that, you can be like, okay, I gotta, like, okay, I can just blast him. So, a very worthwhile premium character. Very worthwhile premium character compared to some of the others. This guy is definitely worth the money if you got it. That is Juggernaut, folks. Next, we will look at Sabretooth.